Welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita Khemka.
And hello there, I am Yatin Mota.
Well, Yatin, another day of solid gains coming in, although it was a seesaw session, no denying that. But we did manage to close above that 22,800 mark, over 200 point kind of gains coming in on the index. Although we are inching closer to that 23,000 mark once again. We hit 22,900 during the course of the day. As I mentioned, it was a yo-yo kind of a session. So whatever said and done, in the end, we ended above 22,800. Mid and small cap indices saw gains of somewhere around 2 to 3% each. NSE advanced decline ratio, Yatin, was extremely good today, almost 7:1. And if you look at the sectoral performance today, FMCG came under a bout of profit taking after solid gains over the last two sessions. But what was doing well was the realty pack. Up 5%. PSUs, Yatin, have made a good comeback, right, after the drubbing that they saw on election day. So PSU banks were among the top sectoral gainers, and IT was the other pocket that did well. In fact, some of the gainers on the Nifty 50 are from the IT pack. In terms of individual movers on the Nifty, Yatin, HCL Tech Mahindra, SBI Life, SBI itself, which shaved off 15% on counting day, Eicher Motors as well as Infosys. These are some of the gainers. On the flip side, you had the likes of Hindalco, continues to see pressure after they have delayed their Novelis IPO. Hero Moto, which hit a record high yesterday, by the way, profit booking today. HUL, Asian Paints, M&M and Nestle. So all these consumption names came under pressure. But I think just want to point out or highlight a couple of other stocks that were in focus. Z, shareholders have approved fundraise to the tune of 2,000 crore rupees. The stock was up and about today, entire session. ITC is another stock, Yatin, got a last minute pop given the fact that shareholders have approved the demerger of its hotel business, and that would pave the way for listing of ITC hotels. And an overwhelming majority of shareholders, 99.6% of the shareholders, have voted in favor of the hotel business demerger. But Yatin, a lot of these brokerages are also bullish on ITC, and it is a preferred staples name when it comes to CLSA, but MK Global has downgraded the stock, citing near-term business pressures. So all in all, that was how the large cap scenario panned out today. But Yatin, all these Capex names made a comeback of sorts in today's session, Yatin.
Absolutely, and we have the PSU stocks also, which rallied quite a bit in trade today. So did private sector companies. Now, today, if you look at the mid caps, we had Century Textiles up 14% after they've announced a 5,000 crore residential project in Gurugram, and the land acquisition for that has been done. When it comes to PSUs like Mazgaon Dock, that stock was up 13%. Uno Minda, they have started some EV joint venture, post with that stock moved 13% higher. Stocks like Signature Global, KNR Construction, Kochi Shipyard, GRSC, even Biocon, and that stock moved 10% in the future and option segment. So good moves coming in there. What did not do well is Honasa Consumer. Yesterday the stock was up 12%. Today some profit taking, 4% down. Sun TV down 4%. DMart down 4%. So yes, the action was limited to quite some stocks. But if you look at the F&O space, clearly BHEL, after winning that 7,000 crore order from Adani Power as well as Mirzapur Power, that stock moved up. Exide 7.5% higher, and HL up 7%. So select stocks are doing well in trade along with PSU stocks.
That's right, Yatin. We were talking about Capex stocks, and today, there's a fresh report that has come in from CLSA. Yesterday, there was a report by CLSA which, in which they said that they fear a derating for some of these Capex names. But, of course, they are expecting Modi 3.0 to come back, with the support of key allies, and which is why they have, come out with a fresh report, and they say that, the Capex push will continue under Modi 3.0. In fact, according to their channel checks, the new government is expected to lay down an ambitious 100-day plan where the new government will hit the ground running when it comes to Capex, or when it comes to large orders across the infra as well as defense sectors. In fact, even the fact that the allies are demanding Capex for their respective states would revive Capex in states as well. And aside of that, the RBI dividend and innovative funding should ensure funding for any social or welfare measures. That's something that CLSA has pointed out. And they've said that stocks like L&T, IRB, NCC and J Kumar Infra, these are some of the key beneficiaries of the Capex push under Modi 3.0. Of course, reports and sources are suggesting that Narendra Modi will take oath as the new Prime Minister on Sunday evening. So, that's also something that the market participants will be keenly watching out for. But, the tide is turning once again in favor of Capex stocks after the kind of, massive sell-off that we saw on Tuesday.
Absolutely, and good moves coming in for all of these stocks. In fact, the market today saw some good short covering. What also moved in trade today were gas stocks. Now, Citi has come out with a report and they retain a constructive view on the gas stocks and city gas distribution companies. GAIL, IGL, MGL. This is the preference list of Citi when it comes to gas stocks. Why gas stocks? Because obviously the valuations are reasonable, and more importantly, the government is looking to get GST on natural gas. Obviously, petroleum has been a long demand that that should be under GST, but the petroleum secretary or the oil secretary has said that gas is something which would help the industry once in the GST ambit, because it will have input credit and output credit as well. So yes, GST on gas is something as a reform could fire up these gas stocks. In fact, Citi believes that there could be some substantial consolidation in the city gas distribution business. More experienced city gas distribution would benefit, and obviously NDA could consider bringing gas under the purview of GST, which could be another trigger for the gas stocks to move up. Probably the reason why today buying was seen across GAIL, IGL and MGL kind of stocks.
Of course, buying interest in oil and gas, particularly gas stocks as well. But Yatin, HDFC Bank is also in focus, right? Because most brokerages are expecting its weight to double on the MSCI index in the August review. But the stock was fairly volatile today, Yatin. If you see the chart, you can just see crests and troughs. Take us through what the report
is. I think today the move was largely probably because of the expiry mood. But HDFC Bank, most of the brokerages believe that it's a value buy. UBS is a target of 1900 on the stock. And if you look at HDFC Bank, UBS believes that from here on, given the fact that FIs have been selling, the shareholding pattern could mean that moving ahead there could be an inclusion or probably a weight increase in MSCI for HDFC Bank, and this would mean inflows between $3 billion to $6 billion. So anything between 20,000 crores or maybe 60,000 crores could flow inside HDFC Bank when it comes to passive MSCI funds. Apart from the MSCI reasons, UBS believes that this bank is in a sweet spot. From here on, return on assets will improve, net interest margins will improve, and the bank seems to have reasonably valued at current point. So they're bullish on this name, probably looking at a 20% kind of return from the current market price.
Right, I think the street is fairly constructive on private banks, Yatin, because of their underperformance, where at a time when most of the other sectors seem to have outperformed. Even Andrew Holland, speaking to him in the morning, he was saying that there could be opportunities in the private sector lot. But I think those were all the stocks on our radar this afternoon. With that, we've come to the end of this edition of Closing Bell. It was a good day. Tomorrow we have the RBI policy decision as well at 10 a.m. Of course, we'll be getting you live coverage on that as well. But I think banks and rate sensitives will once again be in focus tomorrow. But with that, thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned to Moneycontrol for all your other news and updates. And goodbye from me and Yatin.
Thank you.